In this episode of Trekking Through Compliance, we consider Errand of Mercy.
Compliance, the final frontier. Tom Fox is the voyager of Trekking Through Compliance. His mission? To explore the original series and seek out and share what it can teach you about compliance. Here's your host, Tom Fox.
Today we take up Errand of Mercy. After negotiations with the Klingons break down, the Enterprise is sent to block Klingon expansion on Organia. After being attacked, the Enterprise destroys a Klingon vessel on way. Thereafter, Uhura reports that a state of war has been declared between the Federation and the Klingon Empire. The Enterprise then enters orbit around Organia, despite a warning from Klingon ships being in their sector. Spock and Kirk beam down to the planet to warn the populace of the impending invasion. Strangely, the Organians do not appear to be at the least concerned about strangers beaming into their mists, and do not appear at least worried about Klingon occupation. The chairman of the Council of Elders greets them and invites Kirk to speak to the council. Kirk offers protection, but the council says the people are in no need of defenses and are in no danger. This seems consistent with Spock's report of the stagnation of the society. The Klingon fleet arrives, and Sulu is forced to warp the Enterprise out of the vicinity, stranding Spock and Kirk. Klingons beam down, despite the fact that Spock's tricorder has no way of knowing this. The Organians disguise Kirk and Spock and attempt to hide them. Council bids welcome to the head of the Klingon occupation force and claims that Kirk is Byrona, one of Organia's leading citizens. Spock is a little bit harder to explain, but they say that he's a traitor. Kirk and Spock attempt to interfere with the Klingon occupation and incite the natives to revolt or at least resist the Klingon Empire, but they fail to do so. Kor threatens to fry Kirk's mind and dissect Spock, and he gives him 12 hours to tell him the truth. The Organians release Spock and Kirk, but they refuse to become involved in the dispute. The Organians bring then all of the weapons and violence and weapons and instruments of violence to a temperature of 350 degrees, including those on the Enterprise and on the Klingon fleet. The war stops before it ever starts. It turns out the Organians are incorporeal beings that are capable of creating illusions and were never inconvenienced by the Klingons at all. Spock notes the Organians are as far above humans on the evolutionary scale as humans are above the amoeba. Yet perhaps the most enduring line comes at the end when the head of the council reports that in the future, Klingons and Earthlings will be allies and indeed fast friends, a prediction that foreshadows both Star Trek IV, the motion picture, and Star Trek The Next Generation as well. So what are the business leadership and ethics issues around the episode Errand of Mercy? Well, there's several which are worth highlighting. Number one, the importance of adaptability and flexibility. The episode showcases the conflict between the Klingons and the Federation, with both sides vying for control of the planet Organia. However, the Organians subvert the expectations of both parties by revealing their true nature as highly advanced, non-corporeal beings. This emphasizes the need for business leaders to maintain adaptability and flexibility in the face of rapidly changing circumstances and unexpected developments. 2. Recognizing limits of authority and control. Despite military might and technological superiority of the Klingons and the Federation, the Organians demonstrate that true power and authority can lie in unexpected places. This serves as a reminder for the business leader that they may not always have complete control over the outcomes they seek, and that they must be willing to cede authority when appropriate. 3. Prioritizing diplomatic solutions over force. The episode highlights the contrast between the Klingons' heavy-handed militaristic approach and the Organians' preference for diplomatic resolution. This underscores the importance for business leaders to prioritize negotiation, compromise, and consensus building over coercive tactics, particularly when dealing with complex stakeholder dynamics. 4. Embracing neutrality and impartiality. The Organians' decision to impose a ceasefire and neutralize both the Klingons and the Federation demonstrates the value of impartiality and neutrality in conflict resolution. Business leaders can learn from this example, recognizing that maintaining an objective, neutral stance can sometimes be the most effective way to navigate complex situations and protect the interests of all stakeholders. 5. Anticipating and mitigating unintended consequences. The Organians' intervention, while ultimately beneficial, also highlights the potential for unintended consequences when powerful actors intervene in a conflict. Business leaders must carefully consider the downstream effects of their decisions and actions and be prepared to address any unforeseen outcomes. 6. Fostering collaboration and shared understanding. Despite the initial tension and conflict between the Klingons and the Federation, this episode suggests that under the Organians' guidance, these adversaries may have the opportunity to develop a deeper understanding and even collaboration, or, as they say, become fast friends. This points to the value of business leaders creating environments that encourage cross-organizational cooperation and the sharing of knowledge and perspectives. By applying these business compliance lessons from Errand of Mercy, you can see and give business leaders the ability to develop more nimble, diplomatic, and ethically grounded approaches to navigating complex stakeholder dynamics and achieving sustainability for mutually beneficial outcomes. I hope you'll join us tomorrow for the episode, The Alternative Factor.
If you enjoyed this episode of Trekking Through Compliance, you can help it grow by sharing it with the biggest Trek fan you know.
This podcast is a part of the C-Suite Radio Network. For more top business podcasts, visit c-suiteradio.com.